Welcome everyone to another episode of MizzMe AfterDark. I am your host, Yolanda Missundrstood Brown, baby, and oh my God, today is this funky day. It is a funky day. So, MizzMe AfterDark is an open, unbiased conversation for adults about adults, adulting, and doing adulting shit from an adult point of view. Okay, so if you're not an adult and you're a kid, my show is really not for you because the topics get pretty steamy, especially when I got somebody in the hot seat, baby. Yes. Y'all know the way my show started. I always go with the weather. Then I got local love, and nothing is going to change about that. But today is a funky, gloomy day. It's been gloomy all day today. Like, I got up, I looked at the news because I went to sleep. I didn't even torture myself like that. Jumped outside. Okay. Jumped outside, and it was just gloomy. I already knew what had happened. So, the weather today in St. Louis was 61 gloomy degrees was the high. And right now, it's about 50 degrees. But it feels a little bit chillier than that. Tomorrow, it will be 60 will be the high, and 38 will be the low. And Friday, 64. It does suppose to warm up this weekend. So, we need the warm weather. Hey. So, yeah, my local love, I'm just going to hop to it because I got a guest today, y'all. And I'm not trying to hog it with all this shit, but local love, okay? My local love goes out to Star Nails. And I'm going to love on them because they do my nails and they always look cute. But I also got to set them out because if you watch my live, you know that Star Nails, they just happen to tip themselves on my fucking credit card. And I had to go back up there and get them quite together. So the guy was like, who do my nails? He said, and these are his exact words, "You worry about money too much." What? So I caught your ass. And all you can say is, I worry about my money too much? Okay, so if you go to Star Nails, because they do really good nails, the atmosphere is great. Everything is great. I really didn't want to piss them off, but as long as I got my money back, it was cool. But check your credit card receipts because a couple of them like to help themselves to your coins. That is foul as fuck. Star Nails, hold on. Man. I just can't get it together today. Star Nails, you suck. Your nails are great, but your attitude, well, not your attitude, your customer service practices are suck ass. Okay, so I'm going to get right into it because I don't want to consume the whole show. We got a lot to talk about, and I want to give my co-host for today some time to, for you guys to meet him and know him. And we got someone very special and near and dear to my heart. Yeah, in the hot seat today. So, I never introduce my guests because I feel as though I could never introduce you better than you could introduce yourself. But usually that's not true. So, let's see what you got. Guess.
I think you could do pretty
good. Who are
good.
you?
Just saying. I'm Jake. My name's Jake. I am so lucky to be your neighbor, and I get to see you all the time. And we actually became friends because we just happened to be hanging out in the building.
Right,
and,
on the rooftop.
It was also a gloomy day, but it was a really cool storm day. So I was out there playing some music. As I do, I like to play music, write stories through song, right? I think a lot of songs can be kind of shallow, so I like to make these long, crazy stories throughout my music and what I do, and then that's how I spend most of my time. But I gotta tell you, you were just talking about Star Nails, and I think my nieces just gave me a little nail polish job.
I saw your post. That was cute.
Over this Halloween.
That was cute.
And I see if my nails could look half as beautiful as yours, I might go there. But see, I gotta save my credit card. That's
right. You better watch your credit card receipt, because baby, your transactions, because I ain't gonna say the name of the person. I should just always set them out, but it's kind of past. I got my money back, but I'm saying, watch your transactions.
You got your money. That's
yeah. I got my. I'm gonna get my coins.
There you go.
I'm gonna get my coins. So Jake, you play music. That's how I met you. Like I was up on the rooftop, and it was a gloomy day, but the arch was looking really pretty, like really creepy, and you were out there playing music, and I was like, damn, he cool. And you just jumped. I was like, you want to jump on my podcast? And I remember that because that was a real interesting podcast, because we had the homeless dude was on the rooftop, and then I interviewed him, and he was talking about the homeless situation in the city and shit like that. It actually was a very cool, and we've been cool ever since.
Absolutely, we have. And that I was out there because I've one of my songs talks about there's a storm on the horizon, and I thought I gotta go do this because we had lightning striking the arch.
We did.
It was incredible, and then we just had a blast.
Right.
We had a good time.
It did do that, didn't it? It was lightning striking in the background, and that's one of my lives. It's on my page. That's crazy. I forgot all about that, but that was pretty damn dope. Yeah, we've been pretty cool in passing ever since, but I just knew your energy was cool as shit. Plus, when I watch your page, you got so much shit going on. So where are you from originally?
Everywhere and everywhere else. I grew up mostly in Phoenix, in Arizona, where it's a lot warmer this time of year.
A lot warmer.
I was over there, and then kind of moved around a lot, and I ended up in St. Louis when I was about 15, and then I was in Chicago for a period of time. COVID happened, and I was back in Phoenix, and now I'm back over here, and I just kind of go all over the place.
So how do you do that? So clearly you don't have any kids.
Right.
No kids. So you just I wish I could wander around like that. They got to be a pretty cool life. So are those the only two places you've ever been?
I've been to a lot of places.
Are those only two places you've stayed?
Lived wise, yeah, Phoenix, Chicago, and St. Louis. So kind of those are the main places. I was in Tucson for a little bit, and who knows where the wind will take me next. But I'm like my mom. We're gypsy souls, and we just kind of go all over the place. Okay,
gypsy souls. So when is your birthday? I like those kind of questions.
I'm January 25th. I'm an Aquarius.
You're an Aquarius? Oh, okay, you got a birthday coming up.
I do.
Yeah, that's why you wonder, because y'all don't like a lot of stuff the same. Like, y'all move around. Y'all like to explore. Very mystical people. Yeah.
Gypsy souls?
Yep. My cousin is Aquarius. That's one of my favorite cousins.
Well, we're the best.
Yeah. That's why I ain't gonna say all that.
That's why they're your favorite cousin, is because they're Aquarius.
She is cool, but then sometimes she don't want to be bothered what the fuck, and sometimes she do. So what's the most interesting place you've ever been where you can go and stay and never leave?
Oh, where I could go and stay and never leave. Not too long ago I got the opportunity to go to Barcelona in Spain, and it was just, oh my goodness, the food was incredible. The ocean was beautiful. I would go there in a heartbeat. And also south of there, Valencia was we went there during this festival where they build these giant statues and burn them down, and it's just this incredible. It's like a week long.
Is that Fireman?
It's almost like, now watch, we're gonna have somebody from Spain be like, very much not so, but it's like they're Burning Man, right?
So they spend like a week. Fireman, I'm thinking about the Lil Wayne reunion, that Cash Money reunion.
Same thing. So but they spend like a week building these giant statues. I'm talking, 6-7 stories tall. And they build them, and they all represent something in the culture, something that's going on. Sometimes it's a little bit more lighthearted. It's fun characters from recent movies that have come out. Other times it's it's very political, right? We like their version of a parliament or something like that comes up, or a king or something like that, and then they burn it down at the end of it. And sometimes that's saying, fuck the king.
Yeah.
Other times that's much more ceremonious and beautiful.
Letting go of something. All of it does sound dope. So what was the one special thing about there? Was it a girl in Barcelona?
There's not a girl in Barcelona. I could write a song about that, though. I should write a song about that. No, I actually got to go visit my mom.
So, is that where she from?
She was just over there. So she just travels the world doing all kinds of stuff, and she landed in Barcelona for a period of time. She said, "Why don't you come out for your birthday?" And I said, "Okay."
Dang.
And growing up, we never really got to do stuff like that. So it was a really special thing, and got to go spend a couple of weeks with her and just enjoy the sunshine and the food. Oh my goodness, the food is.
What is that, Italian?
It's
Italian. A little bit of Spain and a little Italian and all that mixed up into one.
Tapas and deliciousness and some more deliciousness, and then they put some tasty on there. A little sprinkle of love on top. Sprinkle of love, yep.
Yeah, so tell me about your childhood. So you said you didn't get to do all that kind of stuff when you was a kid. So what was your childhood like? Do you have brothers, sisters? What?
I've got 3 brothers, and we all kind of lived in different places. I mostly am the one that grew up with my mom. My brother grew up with his dad. My other brother kind of went back and forth a lot, and it was, we moved a lot. My mom had a business in 2008, and when everything crashed, she lost that. So then it kind of became catch up.
What kind of business was it?
It was like sinks and bathtubs and stuff, and And
she sold them or installed them? Okay.
Sold them, yep. So she took all those, and most of the time they were copper or something like that. We were in Flagstaff, Arizona, actually, in the north part. And, I mean, just awesome stuff. But then, the market crashed, and life happened. And after that, it was very much, grateful for what you get kind of thing. And
right.
And I think as much as that was rough at times, I think that's a really great thing for people to learn from and grow with.
Everything is either a blessing or a lesson or both.
A blessing or a lesson. I love it. Yep.
Or both. So, what got you into music? What got you into music? And is the guitar the only thing you play? Acoustic.
Oh, wow. So I got two of my brothers are very musical. One of them more so than the other, and then my dad is very musical, and so growing up, I always did band. I always did theater. I was a performing arts kid. I tried to play football. I tried to play baseball. It wasn't it?
Right, it wasn't your thing.
It just wasn't. And when I was about 15, I went and I was with my dad for a couple weeks, and I just picked up his guitar and I played it, and I loved it. And he just showed me a couple chords, and I picked him up, and he had to go to work, and he'd leave in the morning, and I'd pick up his guitar, and he'd come home, I'm still playing it, and he'd say, boy, you got to put that guitar down.
Okay.
I was just playing too much. But, I mean, I haven't dropped it since. But, doing band and everything, I learned some piano, I learned some percussion and some other random things. I have an instrument at home called a bouzouki. It's like a lute version of a guitar. It's
what is it? Is it a real instrument or some shit you put together?
It sounds like a fake instrument.
You put together?
It's a real one. It's a Greek instrument. I couldn't tell you when it became an instrument, but it has a real kind of twangy. It's almost like a
banjo,
like a Greek banjo, right? So it doesn't have quite that honky tonk country funk kind of thing.
Okay,
but it's their version of that sort of feel. Like you hear about in classical music and really early history as far as music goes. There was the lute, which was one of the first stringed instruments, and it's just ding 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 ding. Like it kind of.
Is this the one that's kind of shaped like a squash?
Yeah, actually, I think it's made from some kind of big nut. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's got a different little look to it, but it's like long with it.
Yeah. Yep. It's got 3 strings on it, and then in I believe sometime in the '60s, Jimi Hendrix came in and said, "What if we added a 4th string to it?" And so now you can get either one. I have the original version with the 3 strings on there, and that thing's fun to play. So I kind of pick and play wherever I can. If I see a new instrument that looks fun, I'm gonna try it.
Okay. So what is the who is the most influential person that you met in person?
Oh, that I met in person?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a really good question. Right off the bat, I think of influential people, and I is in the music world. I start to think of like Chuck Berry and Billy Joel, Elton John, those kind of guys. That I've met in person though. That's such a hard question. That's a really good one though.
I know you met a lot of people.
I have met a lot of people.
Okay, what about that you want to meet?
That I want to meet. Oh my goodness, that I would. Okay, if I could, this isn't quite answering your question. I'm really giving the politician's answer here. But if I could meet anybody and spend time with him, it'd be Freddie Mercury. Absolutely. I would love to spend time with him. Just get an insight into his life.
Freddie Mercury. Wait a minute. Rock star.
Queen.
Yes.
Queen.
Yes,
all the high notes, just his crowd engagement style was really impressive. He'd go, "Hey-o," and get the crowd singing back and forth to him, and I think that was just an incredible thing. And I see in a lot of, you have Chappell Roan who's doing Hot to Go, she gets the crowd involved. But I love when artists become friends with their fans, or they actually become part of the family, And it's that kind of special engagement that really brings something more special to it than just listening to a really surface level song.
Right.
If I could meet anybody, I would love to go back in time and meet Freddie Mercury.
Really?
I think that's my answer.
Well, that would be that it is a difference when you can feel the love and that they care about the people that support them, as opposed to you just go up there and do any kind of fucking thing and jump around the stage. And yeah, because I was working at River City Casino, and a lot of those old guys, they perform. They do. It's different. Like, you might not even like the music that you listen to, because I was at work, so I really kind of had no other choice. But once you see them perform, you have a different level of respect. Because these people now, I don't know what it is they do, but I won't say that they perform. Some people do, like Fantasia, maybe Beyonce, somebody like that.
Okay, yeah. Can we add Beyonce to the meat list?
Yeah.
Can we do
she
that?
She is a performer. If you don't get your soul sucked up through her portal.
I was listening to this show.
Yeah.
I was listening to this show, and you had an episode. It was right after Beyonce came to town, and you were talking about how
I was so pissed off at that. I know, I'm crazy. I am fucking nuts. If I go back,
but you know what? This is MizzMe After Dark. You speak your mind. You say what's real.
Period.
And she is still Queen Bee. But you know what?
The Beehive haven't seen my episode, because they'll come for me. But I don't care, because it's facts. It was like she had a portal, and the lights were like directed toward the middle of the portal, and then she had this thing on the side. It was real creepy. It was creepy. I felt like the hairs on my arms. And I said, let me get the fuck back where I'm supposed to be, because before I walk up out of here soulless. Shit. Beyonce, your music is, I like the old Beyonce stuff. Like, when she was, not before Jay-Z, but she was just regular, and you could still see the sparkle in her eyes.
Yeah.
Not this empty thing she's on
this
now.
Cowboy Carter thing just isn't it?
Yeah, but hey, I like that too, because she's breaking. I think she can't do no wrong at this point.
She's the Queen Bee.
Yeah, ain't nothing. She can't do shit wrong. Everything
That's true.
She can come out and just like Andre 3000 with a flute. She can do some shit like that, and they'll be like,
I love it.
They have a fucking flute. I'm getting the flute now. Yes, Beyonce, we love you.
So that's the ultimate takeaway here is Beyonce needs to start playing the flute, right? Bring it out.
The flute or the clarinet.
There you go.
She can play the clarinet.
Did she?
No, I don't know. I don't think she even had a childhood.
You said it with such confidence. I got so excited.
No, I don't think she even had a fucking childhood. I don't. I think she went to the Joe Jackson School of Entertainment without the whoopings. No. They never talk about whoopings. You don't supposed to whoop girls, so they probably would never talk about Beyonce getting a whooping. So, do you have a girlfriend?
I do not.
You don't? Are you looking for a girlfriend for the people that's watching?
I mean, I could.
You got a boyfriend? No,
I could. I could. I don't know.
Now I gotta ask those questions. It don't matter. Nobody fucking cares anymore. Like,
it's true.
Shit. People that
love is love.
Love is fucking love. Like, I never I play with the idea or whatever. Like, if girls are attracted to me or whatever, then I like attention. So I'll be like, oh, okay, hey. But just the whole idea in my mind, it's like, so you want me to put my mouth down? No, man, I can't do that. Fuck?
This is after dark, so I can say, it's fun.
Yeah, it's definitely after dark. I'm like, it's too. It do too much. It's too wet. It's slimy. It's, it's too much. Like, it's too much. People that know me will be like, she lied. Not because I play a lot. I slap booty cheeks and throw money, and I do that. But that's fun to me.
Hey.
But actually going all the way.
Not it for you.
No.
Not it for you.
I'll probably be in a full-blown relationship. You don't play with certain things.
Yeah.
Because you might like it. Or they might like you. And then it's a problem.
And then it's a problem. You keep to yourself. You keep the things you know.
Man. So, this fucking election. Wait a minute. A lot of things happened in St. Louis.
Speaking again.
Because first of all, I want to just get into some of the things that happened in St. Louis, because that's what I always do. I always start in St. Louis first, because I always start at home, and then I will venture off into the world of cuckoo birds. So I call it Hollywood. So this week a lot happened. Like before the election, did you know about the flooding?
Yeah.
People just
Terrible.
like a flash flood again. Where people's cars was just buried. Could you imagine you at work, a flash flood fly through, shoot real quick, and now your car is buried and you don't have insurance?
It's buried and wet and disgusting. Yeah, no insurance. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people in St. Louis didn't have insurance too. You know, and I saw so many pictures of different areas that were completely underwater.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
One person lost their life off, like over there on the south side somewhere.
I know
like,
there were a couple tornadoes too, and one of my friends, they had a tornado go right by their house way up north. But
really,
yeah, and I saw that it happened. I'm gonna tell you something about me that you might not know, but it makes sense.
What?
It makes sense. I love storms, like tornadoes. I like chasing them. I want to go see them. Do the whole shebang. I don't want to see them around people though, right? So like.
But you like on the open field and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I want to get an album cover with like I'm playing guitar and there's a tornado behind me. You know.
That sound dope. Like I'm intrigued by them because nature has always been intriguing to me because it's something that can't be controlled. And they say they can control the weather and all this shit. I believe that they're trying to. I don't believe that they can. So, yeah, tornadoes always been interesting to me too, but. The devastation that they leave, and they scary
Terrible.
as fuck.
Yeah.
Then, like, have you seen Twister? Everybody saw Twister before.
Oh yeah.
So the one they had a fire tornado, not the new one. The new one is just.
It's
too
I've
fucking
seen Twister.
much.
I have not seen Twisters. I gotta go see the new one. But you're saying it's too much, huh?
It's all the CG shit.
Yeah.
Like the other stuff, the old one is like, okay. That might be a real Twister, and it just go through. But it's more realistic to me. The CG stuff is just too. It's like a fire twister, and it's like twisting, and the car just barely misses the fucking fire, and they running past the fucking fire. I'm like, come on, dude.
Anything is better than Sharknado, though. Do you remember Sharknado?
You know what? I watched some of that. It turned into a cult classic, though.
It did.
Yeah,
it did.
How many parts to it was it? How many parts?
Every part that there was too many. That's how many.
Too fucking many sharks in the fucking tornado. Eating people. Were they eating people too?
I'm sure. Probably. You know.
Yeah.
There was. I will say, bringing it around yesterday, election day. I looked up in the sky. I saw a double rainbow. And I thought, you know what? That's got to be a good omen.
Yeah, a lot of people saw that double rainbow, and they were like, "Yes, this means." It was just the red part, really.
It was just
the
red
it was.
Part. I was hoping it was gonna be a
sweep,
a little blessing,
a sweep. But I kind of knew, like, I predicted he was gonna win the first time, and people were like, "No, he's not gonna win." I was like, "Yeah, it's giving that he's gonna win." And when she jumped in the race, this is just my opinion. At the ass end of it like that, and it's a lot of people that's just not ready for a female president, period, and a black female. They weren't. If Hillary Clinton didn't get it, I don't know nobody's gonna get it.
And I think that's the worst. You got a point though. And I saw an interesting post today that said, it showed every person he's run against, right? It was Clinton, Biden, and Harris, and it said, of course, the only person that America votes for over him is a man, a white man. I'm like,
right.
I think it's time. I think we're well past time. We've seen so many different issues. We've seen it just grow and grow and grow. We've seen the man say every stupid thing that he was deep throating a microphone the other day. I mean,
was he?
He was.
Well, you know what? That's one thing that his fucking ass gonna always do. Give a great show.
It's true.
He likes attention, and he always doing something fucking stupid. And I like, so many people are so fucking sad and depressed, and they're like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Trump's in office. He's gonna make the world slaves. And I'm like, yo, listen, man, he is one fucking man walking this earth, and God is the beginning and the end. If you don't have him in your life or God in your life, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, because he can have a fucking heart attack today.
He could.
And be taken out.
He's
just a man. He's not a god. He's not nothing. He's just a person. And from what I see, when he was in office the first time, he did more. What he did and what he said did not match. Like, he did a lot. Now, the shit that he said, I think I'm more worried about his minions, because he got some really savage ass redneck minions. They like to jump out and harp on every little thing that he says. That they would just go, like, they stormed the Capitol, and they ran Biden bus off the road and all that type of real savagery, you know. But him, Please, see, we fuck around and be doing good. I don't care whatever. It's never really been a big deal for black people either way. That's why nobody cares to vote. But they need to vote.
Need to.
But when I went to vote, I saw a lot of people voting. But
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck happened. Because everything was red. Now I'm more
Everything.
worried about did you vote for the propositions and all that type of stuff?
Yep.
So what did you think about that? Because you know they redistricting and constructing St. Louis around the big corporate company, NGU company.
Completely.
And it's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes with that.
You know, I don't know. The first thing that drives me nuts about all the propositions and everything is you look at them on the ballot, and unless you've practiced reading those things or you've researched the topic, they write it in such a way that's like, wait, is this what I want? Or is it not what I want? What's it for? What's it really? You know, some of them are, should we amend the Constitution to prohibit this, or should we amend it to allow this? But it's not always
the jargon
super clear,
is
right? The jargon's a little ridiculous, and I think that's just general education about it is such an important step, and I think that's part of looking at the people who ran in Missouri. Like, as far as the campaigns go, I didn't see a lot of, and I know it was there, but you know, for somebody like me, right? Like I sit and I watch YouTube, I drive around town, I listen to the radio or podcast or whatever it is, right? But most of the campaigning, I feel like, for the local stuff was on the local news.
Right, which is all
and
bullshit.
People aren't watching the local news anymore.
No.
So you don't hear about, you know, what exactly is Prop 3. And by the end of it, I was going, wait, is Prop 3 pro-choice or pro-life? Like, what exactly is it? And, you know, eventually I figured it out.
It's a lot of shit.
It is.
It's a lot of shit. Well, we had a show on Kick It and Company because now I'm co-hosting on that. So we had a show, and I learned during that show that usually we were reading the propositions and we were reading all the way down. So the meat of the props and stuff is at the bottom. So all the shit at the top is like jargon. It's just like
made to make
to confuse you. But then most people gonna stop reading because it gets confusing, and you're like, whatever, pro-choice, like whatever the news tell you to vote. But if you get to the bottom, you go straight to the bottom. It's like writing an essay. That last paragraph is where all the information is.
Which, by the way, this bill prohibits abortion in any, you know, any capacity, or like that's what it is right at the bottom. But you have to really pay attention to it. And frankly, the average person's just not doing that. It's an overwhelming process anyway. You know.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. They're gonna turn the city and the forestry and traffic city into one conglomerate where they are able to make signs, take lots, like it's all about restructuring the city. They are going to. We had a bill where they want to tax people, and it says $500. That's what you see, but it says the base $500.
So should we make an exception to that base? And it's I read that about 8 times, and I went, is this really saying what I think it's saying?
Yeah, it's saying that if we deem your house derelict or whatever, we gonna come in and say, and I think that passed, if I ain't mistaken, because people are thinking, yeah, get rid of these derelict buildings, but it's always a catch-22. Like,
and you got to think about the people that are homeless, that are just trying to make it work. And one of the big issues that we did see this year, and I know you know this because it was pretty close to us, we had several abandoned building fires, right?
Yeah, we did.
And there is that trouble. That's a waste of resources. That's a waste of money. That's you know, puts harm to all the other buildings in St. Louis. But what are we going to do to prevent it, right? Instead of just saying, you know what, we're going to charge these homeless people who don't have money, you know, more than $500. Why don't we say, how about we figure out how to get them off the streets, right? In a good way, good way, like rehome or something like that,
right?
Or shelters or whatever it is. But we just don't put money to that.
Well, I always say, you know, they can build it up nice and pretty. I always say that they can restructure and make it real nice and cushiony for the NGU people that's coming in and all this, and give them transportation directly to and from, and knock down all the houses, displace people, do everything. But guess what? until you fix the root problem of poverty. Because all you're about to do is make people homeless, more homeless people. So until you fix the root problem of poverty and homelessness, those people are not going to be able to utilize any of those attractions in peace, because people are going to still eat. They're going to harass them. They're going to rob them. They're going to steal from them. They're going to break in their house. Because, like, I don't know. Like, I just think of it like if I was in a position. If you're starving and you're hungry and you feeling your back and you have nowhere to live, you will risk that. You will take that chance. I've been homeless. Have you ever been homeless before?
I have not.
You haven't? I have.
I'm lucky in that sense. My dad was for a little while.
Yeah.
But
I've been homeless before. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's not fun at all. And then that's probably why I can go. I went from that. Now I'm like, I'm never going to be homeless again. I'm knocking on some wood or wherever the fuck it's at. But it's like, the people always say, oh, some of the people want to be homeless. Like, who in the fuck wants to be homeless? Have you ever heard that?
I have.
They want to be homeless.
And you're like, come on.
Now, I understand the constraints of being a responsible adult in a world that does not give you what you need. Because, like, we might be in a rat race. Like, I've been in a rat race where I'm leaving one job to go to another job to run around here to go to just to pay my rent. And then when you check out of that rat race, it could be a little more calming. You know, I saw this homeless man sitting down, like, in the back of our building where we stayed, not in the back, but you know, on the other street, and he was just sitting there with his music, and I was like, damn, he looks so at peace.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
He's checked out.
It work. Yep.
So,
but instead, we're gonna say, how about you pay a bunch of money you don't have, and if you don't pay it, you're going to jail, and then you have a criminal record.
Right.
It's just terrible.
And then they got drug problem, mental illness, all that type of shit that they still have not addressed. They got all this money from the Rams, all this money over here, all this money over there. And you got to sit and like, I don't know what the fuck they doing. And then now we have become a super red state because our governor is red. Our treasurer is red. Our attorney general is red. Everything we might have. Then we got Wesley Bell. He's blue, but I'm pretty sure he's red as fuck.
I'm right here with you.
Like, and it's gonna be we gonna see. We gonna see, because I blatantly remember during COVID, they were all the other places were allotted money, and our government was like, no, we not giving them shit.
Yeah. And
that was our last governor, and he was red.
And now we're still red.
And we super red because, you know, Missouri is
How can
more
people
real.
vote against Elad Gross for the Attorney General? His entire platform was let's save puppies. And I'm just saying.
Really? That's probably why.
That was his entire platform.
Like some fucking
But you
puppies.
pull up his website and he has like his normal things, and then it had one big pop up and he goes, and we're gonna stop puppy mills in Missouri. And he had a puppy in every picture that he posted. And I thought to myself, you know what? One, that's genius. Two, nobody's not gonna be able to rally behind that. And three, he's just a good young guy, and he went on some podcasts. I voted for him. I did too. He went on a lot of podcasts, and you know, he had some awesome thoughts on different things that were really, like Arch City Media, I think, had him on, and some different stuff. And man, I was really rooting for him.
Yeah,
a lot of letdown this season.
Missouri is more rural areas than city. Like, we represent maybe a small portion of what's really in Missouri, and when you get to driving in, and like, I've been camping in rural areas, and they really are living in their own little personal bubble. I went out to camp. How you pronounce it? Herzog, whatever.
Herzog. Oh, Camp Herzog.
Yeah. And I was talking to this lady. I went with a group of people, and I had just left a group of people and ventured off because that's what I do. Okay. And I was talking to this lady, and she ended up being a family member of the owners, like a close family, like sister. Her husband was somebody very, you know, close to the family and shit like that. And we had a really intellectual conversation, because she was definitely living in a mental bubble, because she thought that St. Louis and shit like that was just crime and black people killing black people. Like, they don't come to the city, so all they see is what's on the news. And the media has perpetrated. My mouth is... Let me...
It's that supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah, I'm just trying to learn how to do that in act school. But perpetrated a fraud. They got us looking like all we do is steal, kill, burn up shit, run into cars, and like it's just a fucking GTS.
Yeah.
And it's not.
It's not. And I'm a white guy in St. Louis. I'm a young white guy living in St. Louis, right? So I recognize that.
How old are you?
Do you have 25?
Dang, I know you got a baby face. Okay, so you're a young white guy.
That's why I gotta have just a little bit of But no, but so I recognize that I have that privilege going into it. But I will say, like walking around St. Louis downtown, I actually feel safer than walking in other areas, and I think we see that in certain aspects. Like so. Chicago's a great example, right? And Chicago, all you hear is it's criminals. Yeah, you're gonna die. You're gonna do the whole shebang. And then from the red side of things, they say, well, Chicago's got the strictest gun control laws in the country, and yada yada.
Do they?
That's what they say.
What?
But the thing is, the south side of Chicago is up against Gary, Indiana. It's up against Indiana. They don't have those laws. So all they got to do, if you're south of the White Sox Stadium, you go over to Indiana, you go get your guns, you bring them over, and there's things that happen in those neighborhoods.
Right.
There's things that happen in neighborhoods of every city, right?
It is.
And unfortunately, what happens is the media says, oh look, it's all this. This is all that's happening. It's an absolute hellscape going on, and it's like it's not.
That's why I don't watch. I don't watch the news. I watch skip around and watch a bunch of different shit because you can really get caught up in that shit. Because I moved out to Rice City, so I did a mental. I guess it was a little test myself to see if I started watching the news. I'm out in Rice City and it's quiet out there. I hear a police car going up the highway every now and then or whatever, or ambulance. Yeah, I said ambulance. Anyway.
I love it.
Every now and then, but for the most part, it's quiet, it's peaceful, it's a little racist little town. There ain't nothing really going on. But then I watch the news and I come to the city and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm actually scared. And I'm born and raised in the city. I've never been scared to move around the city because I always feel like God with me, so I don't have to be scared about nothing. Plus, I don't go in places or deal with people that will bring that type of drama in my life. I said, damn, this shit could really mentally program you to be scared of shit that you have no business being scared of.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that's all it is. That's all it is. It's what we tell ourselves, what we tell each other, and what the news tells us. And it's so easy to just... during this whole... Harris campaign, they kind of pushed hope scrolling, right? Because you're so used to doom scrolling, where you just scroll through all the negative, all the stuff. But then it's kind of been like, I don't know. Do you use Threads? Have you ever been on Threads?
Yeah, I do.
So the new liberal Twitter, if you will, right? But it's you scroll through there, and people were talking about hope scrolling because they see these things that are positive, and I think that's something that we just don't have much of, right? Like it's so. Here's the news that happened. Right now, you scroll through and every picture, and unfortunately, so many of them are even scams, which is fortunate in this scenario.
This
but
lady
there's missing
almost
people.
got me
There's
today.
so many missing people. Somebody trying to scam you?
Yep. This lady almost got me.
Other than the nail place?
Yeah. People, I think I am the savior of the people because it's always something happen to me that I got to check and bring light to it so that won't, everybody know that shit went viral on my page about the fucking tow truck dude. So I'm actually suing this dude. And they're actually saying if they can see that he's been doing this for a long enough amount of time that he will be able to be sued under a class action lawsuit.
Wow, that many people?
Yes, he's been doing it for fucking years. They said everybody he been doing this for years. Everybody knows not to park out there, but I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's illegal. I don't give a fuck if you know not to park out there. He can't tow your shit legally. Off a lot that he doesn't need. Like, it's crazy. People always doing crazy shit, and I'm the one that's going to take it there. I'm like, listen, this is not right. People don't deserve this. It's like power to the people. And then you're targeting women. Because if a man walk outside and you trying to put this fucking Amazon boot on his car and try to tow his car away, he fuck around and shoot you or beat your ass. But you're targeting women. It's like, fuck, like we already super unprotected. And here we are. And this a brother. This a brother. So it ain't always other people. Like I said on my live, I was like, we don't Other people don't have to do shit to us no more because we do it to ourselves. And then you wonder, like, why the fuck nobody respects us? Because look at your ass. You out here targeting women, towing their fucking cars when they leave out the club. No, they don't want no smoke. It's like, damn, I've been drinking. I don't need you to call the police. What I need to do? Let me call somebody and get the money. And he's been doing this shit for years.
Yeah.
Until he ran across me. Now I'm suing
you
the
don't
fucking.
Mess with MizzMe.
Man, don't fuck around, man. My mama, my grandmama, I just come from a long line of strong women and men. And it's like I'm fucking militant or something. I told him, I said, you gonna fucking regret the day you ever saw me. You gonna hate my fucking guts. Because I'm not gonna let this go.
No. Hell no.
I'm not gonna let it go. I had to spend my own money to sue this motherfucker, but it's gonna be worth it in the end.
We gotta get you sponsored.
Yes. Shit. I'm trying to get a pro bono lawyer, but I don't know. It's a civil suit right now. Yeah. So I think once it gain a little steam, because it will. It will. It will. Because you're towing people's car. And I'm almost certain he's done this at more than one place. But on Sunday, for sure, he is at this place. And he does it every Sunday. He got a little gang of hooligans, and they'll tow the car, and then he pushed. I was like, wow. Okay.
I just don't get why people are doing. I mean, we talked earlier a little bit about, like, you know, if people are in a hard spot, they get desperate, they start doing stuff. But you would think that kind of position would make you. I mean, if you're a good person, which unfortunately,
that's the thing.
It would make you say, you know what, that really ruins their day too. That does a lot for them. That really fucks up their life.
And dog like, world.
It is. It's a jungle. It's stupid.
It's a jungle.
St. Louis
like
be better.
It's just the world, period. It's like you.
It is.
It's like with your music. I'm sure you ran into people that try to befriend you or get cool with you, to know who you know and what you know. It's just that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. This generation of people are more users than network. Like they say networking, but they really. You know what? I ain't gonna say that because I've seemed to be meeting some really cool people. They really want to network.
Well, I recently was networking and I met this amazing person. Now I'm on their show, so.
Oh, yeah. Ha ha. Yeah, that part. That part. So, how long have you been single?
How long have I been single? Oh, man.
Serious relationship?
I've been single for a while. I've just, you know, I don't really look for one. If it comes along, then that's great. I'm always open. But it's the thing of, you know, I think if you go looking for it, you're gonna find all the wrong things.
Right, because I was looking at first.
Yep. So I'm just a single Pringle doing my thing, and it gives me more time to make some music. And if somebody wants to make music with me, and you're listening out there, then let's make some music.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, because we'll get back into the relationship thing, because I want to talk about Jim Jones and Chrissy. But if you don't know who that is, do you know who that is?
Enlighten me, please.
Okay. We'll talk about it after this.
Okay.
So, do you want to play something?
Sure, we can play a little something.
Okay.
So I'll play a little snippet of something, actually.
Okay.
So I wrote something not too long ago.
Okay.
Right? And this is going to be funny. You're going to say, Jake, you've been saying you're single. You've been saying you don't have these special ladies in your life, and now you're going to sing me a song about a special lady.
Well, that's because you're putting it into the universe, into flourishing.
I'm putting it into the universe, and
yes.
This is a song that I wrote, and I'm gonna tell you what happened. Okay, I don't want you to think that I got some.
I don't think nothing.
But I wrote the song, and I needed a 3-syllable name just to make it work. And somebody I was working with, her name is Natalie. She was like, I from my wedding, I think it'd be the funnest thing if instead of Valerie, we sing Natalie for like the entry. And I used to DJ and stuff, and so like I've done a lot of weddings like this. I thought that's a great idea, and so I'm sitting there later that night, just kind of just playing, and I'm thinking a 3-syllable name, what works? Natalie. So, here it is.
All right, Natalie.
You've been out in the middle of nowhere, USA. Darling, I know you're tired of nothing going your way, but I know someday the world will know your name. name Natalie. I can go on and on and on, but I'm gonna tell you, it's getting produced right now. We're working on it. We're finding it down, so that I'll have that song out in a few months.
I like Natalie. Yeah, give it up.
I finished it out on the rooftop.
I like Natalie because it's a peaceful environment. It's the best place. It's the best part of the building.
It is.
Yeah.
That's why I picked it. I think we gotta have more of that artisty kind of stuff, right? Like that's how you and I met, right?
Right.
You got this kind of stuff going on. I'm doing this, and I think the creative minds, especially after a day like yesterday and a day like today, right? It helps us get out of there. It helps us get out of that slump.
Well, are you in the Unity group? Because I just produced a comedy show for the Unity.
Yeah, you did, and I was
out
of town.
You was out of town?
I was out of town.
Okay, well, I think they do stuff once a month.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times
I was out getting my nails painted by my nieces and nephews.
Oh, okay. Where were you at when you got that done?
Way up in Iowa.
Oh,
yeah,
Iowa.
Like northwest Iowa.
Rural, beautiful country, very rural.
Very rural, and a lot of corn, and then there's some more corn. Actually, you know what? There's not even corn anymore. It's all harvested, so it's just dirt.
Yeah,
it's just dirt.
It's the season. It's the season.
It is.
Okay, so one more song.
One more song?
Yep.
Should we do the one that I did last time?
Okay, go ahead.
Or I got another one that's out right now.
So you can do two more songs. Yay, we got time.
We got time?
Yeah.
All right, so the first one that I did with you up on the rooftop.
About the gloominess.
About the storm on the horizon, right?
Okay.
At least that's a little bit of a line. It's been a minute since I've done it, so bear with me. But there it is. It's about Mary and Jane. It's MizzMe After Dark.
Go ahead.
Right?
Go ahead. You can say whatever you can't say on another show. You can say on my show.
Red, red wine pouring from your mouth. Dirty. Velvet tears fall to the ground. If only she could see the thoughts inside her head. Now she'd never stick around. There's a storm on the horizon, and that's when I met you.
Yeah, the storm.
Telling her it's time for change. And when the sun comes out, she knows it will be blinded. But it seems so far away. When she signed a deal with the devil, she thought that life would stay the same. But now she's locked inside, hiding from the nightmare. She's insane, no, she'll never be the same. That's the tale of Mary and Jane.
Okay.
That's that one.
All right. Mary and Jane, she sound like a bandit. She sound like a nasty lady.
She's a real nasty.
Right, with wine coming out her mouth and she a storm and
she's real nasty.
She just ooh.
You know, it's been a minute since I played that one and this one. So if I mess up again, don't.
No,
be
it's okay.
Baby.
It's all right.
St. Louis, it's been a minute. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Go on his page. You play all the time.
I do. So this song is called "Far, Far From Home." It's on Spotify.
Okay.
And on Apple Music, wherever you get your music at.
Everywhere.
Right? It's another tame one.
Okay.
Another day and I am on the road to somewhere I don't know. Far, far from home. Been up and down the coast, the sun goes west, so I guess that's where I'll go. Far, far from home. When the sun is gone, I'll have to chase the light from where I was. But I'll be fine, 'cause like a gypsy soul, I'm always on the run. Taking 40 east, 55 to Memphis, headed south to somewhere I don't know. Far, far from home. When I get there, I'll be hoping for something better than I'd ever known before. Or closer to home. When the charm is gone, I'll have to realize I'm not the one. Who has to run and hide and act like I'm an endless ray of sun. Ready? Just gonna pick up. Something like that.
Come on, go.
I'll be coming home.
Alright.
Lord knows it's been so long. It's hard to change your mind, but I know I can try. In the name of something holy, it's a light I'll try to find. It's a light I'll try to find. Another day and I am on the road to somewhere I don't know. Far, far from home.
Oh, it's ending. Okay. I got this friend, Miss Maria. Well, she's not my friend, but she used to be at my job. And when you saw Mary and Jane, I could just see her twirling around in a circle. It's like dancing and stuff. Yeah, I like all those. Great job.
Thank you,
Yep.
All in the works, you know.
Yeah. What's your inspiration for Mary and Jane?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's MizzMe AfterDark. I was a little bit high one night, and well, it was. I mean, Mary and Jane. I think it's not actually really about Mary Jane. It's not about weed, right? And it's not really saying it's not. I'm not trying to vilify weed or anything. You know, I think it's so good for so many people, but I do think that everybody has some kind of vice that they go to, right?
True.
And it's to help them kind of get out of reality and out of real life, and you know, Mary and Jane is part of this giant story that I plan to do in an album eventually. Actually, all those songs are part of kind of a album concept.
Like a R. Kelly trapped in the closet.
Well, hopefully I'm not doing no R. Kelly shit, but you know,
just a trilogy that tells a story.
It's gonna be something like that, and so ultimately, this character. I have another song that kind of starts that talks about there's a woman you think you'll like, right? But at the end she'll take your light is kind of this whole thing.
I know that guy.
And so Mary and Jane, ultimately it's Mary and Jane.
It's two different people.
It's two different people, and
that'll
be clear later.
And then
but
she turns into Jane.
Yeah, and she keeps going into her vices, and she loses herself, right? And her head's telling her this is wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. And when the sun is and when the storm is gone, you know, she knows it's gonna get bright again, but she keeps running into the storm.
Right.
She keeps liking it, and it's just kind of this whole concept that I got. So, Mary and Jane ultimately is just running from your problems instead of facing them, and yeah, it's a big piece of a much larger puzzle.
Okay, it sounds like a song about somebody dealing with drug addiction or something.
It can be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's something for so many people. For other people, maybe it's,
I dealt with a person that was. Have you ever been in a relationship with a person that you didn't know was on drugs, and then you later found out they were?
Found out. Not well. Yes,
I have,
and it was much more of a friendship kind of thing that we had.
Okay,
but
it wasn't a relationship, but it still hurt.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time together, and it was, I kind of just began to realize something was off and something wasn't quite right, and eventually it was
out of control. Yeah.
But you know what? To that person, she took accountability for it. She went to rehab. She got better.
That's good,
she's been
most
living
people
clean,
don't.
and she moved completely. She started over. She's
Oh,
completely
dang.
started over. We were in Chicago. She moved to San Francisco, did her thing. She's rocking it.
For her, because it's not an easy thing.
And
the person, it was two people actually. I'm thinking like I'm some type of caregiver. I always like to take care of people, and I used to see what I wanted to see instead of the reality of what it was. So, yeah, it was one person. Then, the one person, he was not, and then he started with his friends, and then it progressively got out of control, and then we broke up. I couldn't take it. And then, the other person, he hit it well. Because he had money, so I just thought it was weed, but it ended up being something else. So, yeah, that shit is crazy to deal with. And I never judge people for what they go through. It's like, you could be a great person and be addicted to drugs or whatever. You could be a great person, and you still a great person because it only intensifies your character. So, say you are a great person in everyday life, and then you maybe might get on drugs or something. You're still going to be a person with a heart and you just gonna have, like you said, a vice. But people who are shitty people and then get on drugs,
10 times more shit.
You do not want to be nowhere near them motherfuckers, because they will fuck you over every way but the right way. They will like fuck you over, like for real. The drugs take over, and it's just like,
it's sad.
This person turned into a major demon.
Yeah.
Like The Walking Dead, literally. Me and my son was riding on the highway yesterday, and it was this guy sitting. We got off at Hampton, and it was this guy sitting on the bus stop. He was like white like this table, and he was just like, I thought he was fucking dead. So I said, I'm finna whip back around I'm about to whip back around. If he dead, I'm finna call somebody and all this shit.
Yeah.
And then my son was like, nah, he's moving. I think he not dead. So I said, okay. I had already whipped back around and rode past the bus stop, and he was looking like, what the fuck? So we went and came back. He was on the fucking highway, walking on the side of the fucking highway with like, that drug shit it's a major epidemic, and it's for like people that just want to check out.
And that's the shit that's so strong too. That it's not even if you are a good person, you lose you. Like that's, if you're doing shit like that,
zombie.
Yeah.
Literally, you're the Walking Dead.
The fentanyl stuff. I mean, you walk. I think you know the corner I'm going to talk about, but right by our building, you walk around, and you see people slouched over. They're doing their thing.
Which one? Because
I mean, yeah, you got a point, but the one.
Which one?
The one opposite of Schnucks. The
okay. And it's about to get cold outside, so when it's cold outside,
it's gonna be bad.
They just keep getting in the fucking building.
Well, they gotta stay warm.
That shit is crazy.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. They worried about the shit that's going on, and the people. Like, every so often, our mayor let immigrants into our city, and she's like, welcome in our brothers and sisters. But we are like, what about our brothers and sisters that's already fucking here? Because we have to see that. Like, do you know by the school, the main school district where everybody go for the city, that's downtown? Because we got all the hubs of everything downtown. It's either downtown or Clayton, but Clayton is the county.
Yeah,
we're the city.
The main school building, right?
Yes, it's a vent. It's a manhole that warm heat blows out of, and if you ride by there, you will see something. When it get cold, you will see homeless people laying on top of that vent under a blanket. I remember it was the coldest night of the year, and it was a man laying on that fucking vent. That shit breaks my heart. Then last year, it was a person was frozen to death.
Yeah.
I was like, bitch.
I remember up in Chicago, it was during school. It was just the coldest winter we had.
Chicago.
I was walking by.
That's a different kind of cold.
Oh, it's terrible. And there was a man.
Blistering, bone chilling.
He was crying. He was asking for soup, and I couldn't give him any soup. I was a broke college kid too, you know. And it was I just couldn't, and I wanted to, but he reached out. He goes, "Please help me. I just need some soup." 50 people froze to death that night.
Damn, really?
Yeah. It's just heartbreaking. It's terrible.
Yeah, Chicago is a fucking different kind of cold. I was thinking about moving up there probably about 10 years ago to pursue my comedy career or whatever. And I went to do some shows just to visit, move around. I was like, I'm not moving the fuck up here. Like, it was like a cold that goes through your body and freezes your bones.
Yep. I remember I grew up in Phoenix, so every winter, and I've already got them this year, but every winter, the first cold, I get hives. I'm literally allergic to it, so I'm like, you know what, I'm going to move to Chicago where it's stupid cold. But I really do, and out on Halloween, I was with my nieces, and we were walking around the city. I mean, I got so itchy, it's terrible, but it hurts the bones. It does.
It's bone-chilling cold, and I guess it's because it's off those lakes or whatever.
Yeah.
But that shit is crazy. Yep. Okay, so... before we get out of here, I want to talk about Jim Jones and Chrissy. So this is a relationship situation where, okay, Jim Jones, you know who Jim Jones is. Okay, Dipset.
Yeah.
Like ballin', we fly high. So okay.
I know about this Chrissy shit though. What's going on?
You don't. So Chrissy has been his long-term girlfriend, and they have been in I don't know what the fuck it is. It's a relationship, but for like maybe almost 20 years, and he never married her. And now he's now he has been, everybody's the gossip mill is swarming because their relationship is over and he's married another girl already.
Just like that.
And I feel like she kind of got what she deserved. Because if a person is your person, it doesn't take that long. And a man knows what he wants. It doesn't take him 20 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. And if he doesn't know, maybe you need to have enough self-worth and self-esteem to say, you know what? This is what I want. This is not what you want. So maybe I need to. And even then, he will probably say, damn, I don't want to lose her. But if you stay with a person that long, you don't set no boundaries. You don't say, this is what I want. And if you can't adhere to that, I'm gone. And if he leave and don't do it, okay, fine. Fuck it. You know that you did the right thing. But if he does do it, then okay. So she was with him and they had a reality show. I don't know how true. She asked him to marry her because he would never marry her.
Oh my God.
And he took the ring. But my son brought up a very strong point that he's a mama's boy. And she disrespectful to his mama. So he would probably never, would never marry her.
Yeah.
But she stayed for all this time. And now he married to somebody else. So what do you think about that? Like, do you think that, what's the longest amount of time that you should stay with somebody before you decide this is not what you're doing?
What's your boundary of self-worth, right? What's the limit of that? And Steve Harvey actually has an awesome thing. He talks about just the psychology of whether or not a guy, if she's his girl, right, like the one, right? He said something about a guy knows in 6 months.
That's
guy knows
true.
in 6 months. The girl takes a while, right? But a guy knows in 6 months. And I think on one hand, you can't be playing with people for that long.
Right.
If it ain't it, it ain't it. Now, that being said, partnerships and not getting married are kind of they're on the rise a little bit more. I mean, you get into some issues that way. But to turn around and marry that quickly?
He just said. But
you also don't disrespect
defense,
mama.
Right. In his defense, he said, because some women get very comfortable, just like some men. And he said on a podcast, he was like, when you feel like you are not being taken seriously or respected, then I'm going to show you, not tell you. And that's how I am. Like, I will ghost you. Like, I would just literally leave. I don't give a fuck.
You say,
I would just leave. I'm not going to say, I might tell you the first time. I might even tell you the second time. But if I see this as a repeat pattern with you, I'm just going to leave and leave you right where the fuck you at. Because boundaries are just
if it's communicated multiple times and you say, here's my need, and you stop meeting the need, you know, it ain't worth my time.
Right.
And that's.
Have you ever been in a serious relationship?
I did have one, and I mean, This is the it probably went on for like 4 years or something like that, and I mean we were talking about moving in together, the whole shebang, you know, and it just kind of, we kept moving around different places, but it ultimately came down to that. It was a matter of like, look, I'm serious about this. If you're not going to be serious about it, then it's not worth my time.
Right.
And finally I said, all right, I'm done. Right. And then they come calling back a little bit later, and you know, start giving you all the signs, but it's easy to fall back into that. And if it's a pattern that's been happening, it's going to keep happening. So get out of it. Love yourself.
Right. They say bad boyfriends make worse husbands. So it's like, is this something you really want to do? If you've been going I just feel like respect is a big thing. And on both ends, the woman and the man's, because women would get comfortable and think they could say, shut up, stupid, shut up, dummy, all this, and look at you, do this, do that. Like, they would just get comfortable, especially when they see it's not a lot that you do about the things that they do. But men will too. And it's like, oh my God. It's so scary as far as relationships. Like, I'm just in peace. I'm at peace. I don't want any smoke. I don't want it. Like, I don't want it. Like,
love yourself or you can't love nobody else.
Man, I was in a situationship. I don't know what the fuck that was. Like, these people, they said it's so many women that's just practicing celibacy, and men too. Because it's like, it's crazy out here. You first of all, you bring all those energies with you when you be intimate with somebody, men or women. And then nobody wants a cum bucket. Like, I always call the men dirty dicks. So do men like cum buckets? Men like cum buckets, don't they? They like, ooh, she's a cum bucket. Let me come in her bucket.
Personally, no, but I think so. I think you're onto something. I think there's a lot of guys that do. And, you know, I don't know. I guess I'm not like most 25s, right? Like,
no, you're not.
There's so many. I've never been able to do that. Now, admittedly, there was a time where I was like, can I be that guy? Like, my friends are doing that. Like, and I thought I'm gonna have some fun. Just do. No, it doesn't. I don't get that mindset, but so many people do. And I mean,
I feel like when you do it, then you regret it. Like, why the fuck did I do that?
You wake up in the morning and you're like, oh.
This person totally just don't get me. I don't want to be bothered. And
if they're not about it, if they're not about it, they're about messing around. They're trying to start something with you, and you're just fucking dump it. Like,
and then you would just look at it like with me. I was like, if I could get you to do this, and anybody can, and you just a motherfucker who everybody slide across your face. Like, who wants? How can I take you serious? So now I'm just like back on the celibacy kick, and I'm cool, and my mind is clearer. I'm getting more shit done.
I'm a guy saying this, but it's some wisdom I heard once, and I'm stealing this from somebody. You might have heard it.
Okay.
But what's good for the whole ain't always what's good for the soul.
That's the country version of no slutsing around. Nobody. Bobby Brown. No humping around, for real. So, where can everybody find you? This has been an amazing episode. I had a ball. I always watch your videos, and I like to just chill out and be nosy and listen to you play your acoustic guitar, because I actually want to learn how to play. I tried but I didn't know I needed a new guitar. My strings were all off and all messed up. I took it in, and he was like, this needs to be restrung. I said, oh, okay, no wonder.
That makes a difference. Yeah. You gotta hit me up for that.
Yeah, I asked. Let me
know.
Did you do lessons?
I'll hit you up. You can find me on social medias on like TikTok. It's Actual Jake Johnson. Same with Instagram. Just Actual Jake Johnson. Somehow I got that handle, and I'm gonna hold on to it. Spotify, it's just Jake Johnson. I got Far Far From Home is out right now. I should have. We'll have probably 4 or 5 songs in the next 12 months here. As time goes on. So we're working on it, building it out. Do
you do bookings?
I'm open to.
Okay.
I'm absolutely open to. If you want to do some kind of gig, you got or you know what? Actually, another big appeal. If there's somebody listening right now that likes to make music and they heard what I'm kind of coming up with and they want to build on that, hit me up. I would love to collab, love to get some stuff going. I'm just trying to launch it. And so much of the music scene here is more like punk rock or hip hop, and I don't quite fit in that genre. I like it. I love going to those shows, but I don't quite fit there. So if you're interested,
Okay. Well, you might be good on the poetry scene.
There we go.
What the hell? Who is that?
Unexpected guest.
So, who is that? That's the next show. My bad. I'm all on my Spotify. That's the next show. Anyway, this has been an amazing show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Jake. You are always an amazing interview, and yeah, don't let the election get you down.
Amen.
I'm not gonna let it get me down. It is. We're not in control of these things, so you know. So this was another episode of MizzMe AfterDark. Live your best life. You know, you only got one, and if what you do don't negatively affect others, then guess what? You gotta do you. Wear that ugly outfit, wear those ugly shoes. It's only ugly to everybody else, and they don't matter. Do stand up. If there's something that you want to do in your life you've never done, go visit foreign lands, wherever you want to do.
Whatever you do, go far from home, you know?
Go far away. You only have one life. We're not here very long, and tripping off of what people think of you does not make sense. I'm Yolanda Missundrstood Brown. Oh, I got some shows coming up. Go on my page, Yolanda Brown, on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, all my shit is right there. And thank you for watching. Thank you. Welcome to another episode of MizzMe AfterDark, where the guests are trending and the topics are hot. So grab a seat, get comfy, because MizzMe AfterDark is on, baby, right about now.